Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing the Tier 7 Chinese light tank, the WZ-131, on the map Swamp. Now, the WZ-131 is an awesome little light tank. I actually prefer this vehicle over the Tier 8 variant, the WZ-132, only because the WZ-132, while it is a great vehicle, only gets slightly better penetration and slightly better rate of fire compared to this little guy, and it ends up seeing tier 10 battles a lot more, making it not quite as fun to play. And also I feel like the tier 7 version has slightly better mobility, which makes it just that much more competitive as a light tank. I also prefer this vehicle over many other light vehicles in the game, only because it's one of those light tanks that doesn't have a gimmick. A lot of light tanks, like the SB-1C or the T-71, have autoloaders, which can make them kind of awkward sometimes when you're reloading and there's an artillery sitting right in front of you. Or, for example, the T-49, which has the gimmick of the giant 152mm derp cannon, whereas, yeah, sometimes you're going to hit, sometimes you're going to miss, sometimes you'll pen, sometimes you won't. It's very, very RNG based, which I really don't like. But this vehicle will consistently get the job done, and if you haven't picked one of these up, I highly recommend it. So moving on, we're going to get into some pre-game analysis. On the map Swamps, a lot of heavy tanks will push into this bottom left corner, while a lot of mediums will go up into the top right corner, and tank destroyers usually camp on these ridges. Using XVM, we're going to see what the strongest players are. The Challenger is really the only player that I'm concerned with. When I use XVM, I usually only focus on blue, purple, and pink players, and anything else I just kind of ignore. Our team has a blue player as well, but again, it's artillery, and it's really not going to have a huge outcome on the game unless he gets really lucky. But because artillery is very RNG based, I'm not going to really put him into the equation. But their Challenger, because it's a tier 7 vehicle, I'm going to just kind of cancel him out. He's not going to go through my head when I'm making an evaluation. Looking at the vehicle lineup, you'll see that they have a lot of heavy tanks, which, like I mentioned before, heavy tanks primarily push into this corner, meaning the majority of the battles are going to happen down in the bottom left corner, and the outcome of the match is going to be dictated by who's able to take that hill. Our team, on the other hand, has some high-tier tank destroyers, there's a couple heavy tanks, the rest are medium tanks. And like I said, the TDs will probably be camping this ridge. We'll have a couple tanks going up this way, and we'll have some tanks going down here. And again, I'm not going to have any control over what my teammates do, but I do realize that if I want to have any impact on this game whatsoever, I'm going to have to try to help down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, this castle area as I call it. So we'll get started. Again, artillery, not really a big issue. There's only one tier 8, and he'll probably try to shoot at me once in a while, but because I'm a fast light tank, I doubt he'll even hit me, so I don't really put him into the equation. Now, you might be curious as to what a light tank is doing going up to brawl with the heavy tanks. That is a valid question. Unless you've actually played the way I'm going to play in a second, you really won't know what I'm about to do. It's actually the very corner of the map in K1. If you're able to have a fast vehicle get up there before anything else is even lit, you actually have a very, very good impact on the game, as long as artillery or something doesn't kill you. You really do have to play smart, and you really do have to play carefully when you're a light tank in this very, very aggressive position. And because you're going to be surrounding yourself with heavy tanks, and you are going to be cornered per se, you have to be just committed to this location. Once you're in, you're in. You're really not going to get out alive unless you're able to take out the enemy. Now I'm going to pause the game here really quickly and show you something. See this lane of fire that I have right down here? This is the main corner that heavy tanks like to brawl in. And being here, they can't light you until you fire. So they're going to be very, very casual, fighting on this corner, and then you'll be able to get a nice tracking shot. Furthermore, if something is pushing over here, you can constantly pop out and light them if you have artillery to support you. And even if the hill is completely taken, for them to come around the corner and actually have to turn their guns and kill you, they're going to open themselves up to anything that hasn't crested the ridge yet, making this location very, very strong indeed. you're pretty already safe as long as they don't have an arc and you hug this hill, but the second you come out into this region, you will get hit if they try to hit you. Moving on. I'm waiting for my team to catch up with me. I really don't want to be lit yet because I want to have the element of surprise. But this E50 decides to come up here and hold an even more aggressive position than I am. So he's going to be holding anything back that I want to get shots on. So I decide to push out a little bit. Now I realize here that artillery is probably going to try to take a shot at me because I'm a very big threat to him. So I push up to this building. As I say that, the E50 gets hit. Now one thing you'll notice here about this position is this IS-3 right here. Keep an eye on him as the replay continues, and you'll notice that he is looking down this way trying to get a shot on me for the longest time. It's almost like he's AFK at one point, which I don't think he is. He's just dead set on getting a shot on me because I got one in him. Now I'm going to load some APCR here because the ST1 is incredibly hard to penetrate with 181 penetration. Going for his lower plate here. Kind of got lucky. There was only a sliver that I could hit him there. And right now, I'm kind of in a tough situation. There's a tank on my right. There's tanks on my left. There's Artie watching me. And all I have to protect me is this E50. Shouts out to him. GT Happy 40, you did an awesome job here, and I think we probably would have lost this game if it wasn't for you being able to take out this ST1. So thank you for being my guardian angel here. And I totally blow this shot. I aimed a little too low, bullet went completely under him. Really unfortunate, but right now my main focus is to take out this ST1. As a light tank, you're not going to have the biggest impact damage-wise when you play plays like this. But really, your job is to distract. You want to help your allies that are pushing this region here to be able to live as long as possible and hold this castle. Because if they die, you die. You want to keep your buddies alive, and in order to do so, you want to pull as many guns in your direction as possible without dying. If you get damage in the process, great. If not, you still did your job by putting as much pressure on them as possible. See the IS-3? Still looking at me. Actually, I think he just finally turned away. So, yep, now he's not looking at me, and I decide, oh, okay. I noticed that I have a chance to take a shot on him. So I back up, get ready to take the shot. He's angled far too much. I don't even know where my bullet went. I think it went into the ground. But now I'm noticing, okay, my E50 friend just died, and I need to take this T29 out. Unfortunately, bounced his armor there. T29 turrets can be kind of trolly, even with APCR. Now this guy wants me. I'm thinking, okay, I have to take him out. I'm going to take the hit, and I'll reload faster. I can't back up at the moment because I'm not sure if that IS-3 is looking at me, but I know I'll be able to finish this guy because my reload is faster. So now you'll see the situation that I'm in. This T10 is not looking at me at all, so I quickly put a shot into his upper plate because it was angled right. And again, I am using a lot of APCR here, but at the moment, I really don't care. I want to win this, and a tier 7 against a tier 10, or I'm sorry, a tier 9 heavy tank needs as much advantage as it can get. So I really want to get a shot into this IS-3. I realize I'm not doing anything by sitting back there, so I pull out and I shoot. By doing this, I'm forcing him to engage two flanks. If I was not going to do that, this poor Patriot over here would be facing these two tanks alone. But with my help, being a huge distraction, I've put shots into each of them and it stung. They know I'm here and they are very distracted. That IS-3 can't decide where he wants to look. And lucky ammo rack there by our Patriot. Oh, I'm sorry, that was our KB4. Now, I want to pause the game again right here. That Charioteer really wanted me. This IS-3 also really wants me. In this situation, you have to make a call. If I stayed behind there and took a shot from the Charioteer, I know I would only be able to take one or maybe two shots. I don't have enough DPM to put 3 to 4 shots into him, and I would have died for sure if I had stayed on that side. On the flip side, there's an IS-3, but we have a Patriot. So the smartest thing to do in that situation is actually to get on the other side of the building, allowing my Patriot to shoot the Charioteer if he tries to push me. And effectively, I'm allowing him to force him. I'm forcing the Charioteer to come out and engage me, and I end up having to take a shot from the IS-3. But quickly, I realized I can take a shot from the IS-3, and that is how I gambled. There's fortunately a rock here that I know I can hide behind, so I'm basically baiting both the vehicles. I'm saying, okay, Charioteer, you want a piece of me, you're going to have to come get it. On the other side, I'm making sure that the IS-3 has a rock between me and him, so he can't shoot me as well. And really staying alive in these situations can be tricky, but it's very crucial that you do so that your team can win. So right here, I'm deciding, okay, do I want to try to finish off the IS-3 or the Charioteer? I'm kind of worried that Artie's going to try to hit me, but I notice that the Charioteer is really not paying attention to me. So I just take advantage of that situation and finish him off. And I come over here and I kind of hit that vehicle, but then I'm like, oh, okay, I can get a shot into this IS-3 and also finish him off. So pretty much that's the rest of the game. Really, to recap, going hill like that, I don't know if it was completely my doing that we won, but picking up 2200 damage and doing a lot of assist really helped our guys win that flank, I believe. Because right now, we only have 2 vehicles left on the hill, and we were able to take down a lot more. The E-50, obviously, it was very helpful to have him there, but for instance, if that E-50 had pushed the northeastern corner, it would have been me, and I probably would have died. But again, being that huge distraction can be great. And that's where a lot of players, I feel, don't really understand that light tanks don't just have to be for scouting or killing artillery. Light tanks, in my opinion, are the most valuable when they're being the huge distraction. Forcing the enemy to turn their guns and look at you. Just like the IS-3 did on multiple occasions, where he could not take his gun off of me. He was basically disabling himself from helping his own team because he was so distracted by my presence. That's a pretty big deal, because if that IS-3 was being more aggressive and pushing around that corner and actually was able to help his other IS-3 friend and the T-10, they could have rolled through our guys really easily. So anyway, hopefully I'm able to get my point across. Again, I controlled that engagement by hiding in the corner and being really, really sneaky by putting shots in when I know I could. Yes, I wasted a lot of shots, I bounced a lot of shots, but I still got 2,500 damage, and I was able to pull this victory off. Our northern flank was able to win, and I think with or without me, we probably would have won this game. But if you're in a situation like this where the matchmaking is incredibly difficult and you're in a light tank with low penetration, you're bottom of the pile, but your tank is fast enough, sometimes getting into those really aggressive positions and knowing you can get there and just being a huge distraction can sometimes take that 50-50 chance of winning and tipping it to like a 70-30 into your favor. I'll try to post more of these kind of gameplays in the future, but light tanks really do take a lot of strategy, and if you get good with them, you'll really start to understand how to actually get that 65% win rate and how to consistently win. If you take the tactics you use in a light tank and then you start translating them into a medium tank or even a heavy tank and start understanding how you can actually have an influence over the battle, you'll ultimately become a better player. So anyway, hopefully you liked that video. I just created a Facebook page. The link is in the description below. If you go ahead and go there and like it, I will be posting videos and posting updates, whatnot. So if you're interested, go ahead and follow me there. Again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So anyway, guys, hope you liked it and have a good day.